Yeah, they definitely have some very different styles. And like you mentioned, Dre, as far as the fourth downs, Michigan State's gone for it, if I'm correct on this, 14 times in what have they played, 6 games, something like that. I mean, that's a pretty. It's probably going to be a lot more after this week.
For sure.
Go ahead, Mark. Look like you were about to say something.
Uh, yeah, 7 games. So going for it 14 times. I don't even know how that compares to teams across
The
the nation.
average.
But
Yeah.
When you make that comparison, like Dre just brought up with Ohio State playing Iowa this past weekend, of course, Michigan took care of that game a couple weekends ago. And then Michigan's got Michigan State. The Buckeyes have already played. Penn State is Ohio State's opponent. We're going to have now 3 opponents, and people are going to start, including us, start playing that game of, who looked better against what opponent, and that lineup of opponents is going to swell here in the next few weeks, which is an interesting comparison. And just every game's different, every matchup's different, but there's going to be some conversation, whether it's valid or not, to compare these teams and how they played against the same opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be a game where Michigan scores more than Ohio State on a specific opponent. Now, I don't think that means that they had any less game control or any, it means they dominated any less, just because, like you mentioned, Dre, the styles are just different. Like when Ryan Day gets rolling, he wants to throw the ball, he wants to get downfield, be aggressive. And Michigan style is that run first, and for good reason, right? They have 2 terrific running backs that are rolling. Offensive line's doing a great job, so it's just going to be different. But yeah, like you said, Mark, it's now we're starting to get to that trend of common opponents, and that number is going to get bigger and bigger. So we shall see. Go ahead.
But overall, it turns this weekend. Look, Michigan has no excuse to lose this football game. They are the better football team. They are playing the better football. Everything is going their way.